This is our island. And that's our base. It's not a dick. Wait, this is a little too forward. Let's backtrack. By a lot.
I lost! It's over! Ah!
That was the failed run where I died on day 49. What you're about to see is the real run.
Hey, most of you watching this probably aren't subscribed. Like and subscribe.
That's what a real YouTuber would say, right? All of this was taken from my Twitch stream. I didn't play any off stream, and all of my settings were vanilla settings on single player. I scaled the difficulty up and I put structure collision on. That's all I changed. Let's get started. My first day. And I did what anyone would do. Tame an army of dodos. But it needed to be bigger. So I got a few more and then decided to test their strength. I felt unstoppable. And then the next day it all went downhill.
Why is it knocking my... What is happening, dude? Why is this happening?
Then I found a sheep and trapped it for later. And that night I lost my army. I was clueless.
Oh!
After that I decided it was time to leave. So I headed to Herbivore Island.
Yeah!
There was an alpha meg there. I wasted a lot of time on it. And then I lost it.
Where'd it go?
So I headed back to the island, and almost died to raptors. But I was a little too smooth. At least for a second.
Get to the boat!
I soiled my new hide pants.
Ah!
I calmed down and tamed a Lystrosaurus. And I beat off a Gallimimus. After I tamed it, I headed back to Herb Island. I farmed a little metal. I tamed an Ankylosaur there. And then I headed off. But that night I decided to leave the Lystrosaurus.
Gosh dang it.
He kept getting caught into the boat.
That's not good.
I almost died again on day 3 to Microraptors. I was speechless and panicked.
Why? What's happening?
But somehow I made it out alive.
It's dead. I just killed it.
Only to kill our Gallimimus to fall damage.
What a waste.
God bless parachutes. What a nice view. I landed and I found a dolphin to tame. I called it Flip. Flip didn't even last 10 minutes. I tabbed out and Flip died to a Megalodon.
No, what? Flip!
I made it back to land and knocked an RG. Definitely not me teabagging an unconscious animal. I began working on my home. I spent all day working on the foundations. It needed to be big. There was something I realized I needed. A Doedicurus. Oh yeah, I also got flat gear. The next morning I tried trapping a hyena. That failed, so instead I got a raptor, which I almost killed instantly.
He's never gonna die!
Spoiler alert. He does. I needed an otter to go into the cold for a mammoth. I love otters. I went to the snow biome and knocked a mammoth right after. While it was taming, I found a better RG2. I led it to my trap and knocked it.
Gotcha!
The next day I brought a date onto the trap too. I ran out of tranks. And my bat broke. So I fisted the pig.
Now I'm fisting its butt!
That evening after all our taming, our raptor died.
Wait, what?
I was pissed,
You pussies!
but I got my revenge. During the night a Rex appeared. I chased it down and knocked it.
Yeah!
I called the Rex Insano. It looks so cool. The rest of the day I spent working on the base. It was looking good. I was pretty happy. I decided to place some dino gates. And then I made some railing to keep the hyenas out. It looks so scuffed. I took a break from building to murder some penguins. I slaughtered them all like Anakin slaughtered the younglings. I wanted that ghillie suit. It was day 10, and it was time for metal. It was also narcotic time. So I waited for them to finish. And the next day I figured out how to harvest wood with the mammoth. I felt rich. And then it was all gone after I placed my rails and walls. Now that I had my walls up, I needed to fill the base. So I made a fabricator. Then I realized that I needed to expand for all that I wanted to do. And messed up a little.
Oh, you idiot! Oh my!
Next I replaced my dino gates with behemoth. The mammoth couldn't fit. So I got to work. I placed my behemoth gates. I was hyped.
Woo!
Would you look at that? I had a turtle-shaped castle. On day 12 I made a trough. Collected all the poop I could find. Made some forges to take to the mountain. And then I put some wood in the RGs to take too. Got distracted by Ark Twitter and Vin Diesel. Eventually I got to the mountain, and it was time. Time to mine.
Mine all day, I mine all night, I mine non-stop till those diamonds are inside, and I mine all stone till I'm all alone. I mine all the time, I can't find.
The forges were loaded, so I lit them and headed home. When I got back, I spotted an Alpha Rex near the castle.
Oh, shiznit.
I had to kill it. I fought it all night, and the next day I finally killed it.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
That afternoon it was time to work on my greenhouse, so I laid the foundations, the plots, placed the walls, and made the irrigation system. I placed more walls, I fertilized the plots, and then I planted my crops. That was tedious. I needed more metal, so I went to my forge and I made a big mistake. I didn't watch my stamina, and I killed the bird. I thought it was over, but I ran for my life, and I escaped with a move only Vin Diesel himself could pull off. I overshot the castle a little, but I clutched a whistle and my bird came to the rescue.
Pick me up!
That was way too close. So I went back to the mountain for my treasure. I searched for a while, and I thought I lost it.
There it is!
I went to my bag and grabbed my things, and I weighed 1,000,000 pounds, but somehow I made it back home. That night I tamed a new Ankylo. Leo died. I farmed some metal with my new Ankylo, checked my forges, and slaughtered some penguins like Anakin slaughtered the younglings. I grabbed a survivor to take back to base to tame. I accidentally curb stomped it,
Oh, I killed the penguin I was gonna tame!
and then I crafted my industrial forge. I had the perfect spot for it on accident. I went back for my Ankylo and grabbed the remaining ingots. I was so heavy. That night it was time for a boat trip to Metal Mountain,
Time for a boat trip, boys! Yeah, yeah!
but then something bad happened. They killed Patience.
Wait, what? How did a hyena get in the base?
It was time for revenge.
You pussies!
After I got my revenge, we made our way to the mountain and found a new RG. I led it back to the base and knocked it in our trap. Once it was tame, I named it, and then I decided to breed my birds.
Now you two are gonna mate.
Once they finished bumping uglies, I grabbed the egg and threw it in the fabricator. I didn't have a refrigerator yet. I needed paste for ACs, but I found a sheep instead. This part is tragic. The sheep wanted to die,
Don't do it!
but I saved it. And then this happened.
Oh, the sheep is inside me!
Each time I stopped for stamina, it got worse.
Dude, no!
And then the Carno happened, and I accidentally killed the sheep. But somehow a miracle happened.
Oh, replacement sheep!
Then that miracle vanished,
Alright, where's the sheep?
literally.
Another one just died in front of me! Oh my, I'm so stupid.
I didn't want the mutton to go to waste, so I found a direwolf to tame. On the way over to the cave, I trained the wolf a little bit. And then it was time for our first cave. We got jumped, but it was no problem. I found a beetle to tame, and then another one. Then I made my way to the artifact. There was a scorpion in there, so I killed it, and then I grabbed the artifact. It was time to go, but I couldn't bring all the beetles with me, so I chose my favorite. Look at this mess. It's terrifying. I made it back and Kobe'd the beetle in the greenhouse. I loaded my beetle with poop. I planted some more crops and finished the greenhouse. It was beautiful. The next day I started gathering pearls for my chemistry bench. And then I made a pile of penguins for polymer and slaughtered them like Anakin slaughtered the younglings. I nearly had enough. I finished gathering the resources for the bench and then I crafted it. And then the Thanksgiving event started. So I checked out the outfits. I wanted them. It was turkey time. But I underestimated the turkey's power. By a lot.
Oh my gosh, it's a raid boss, dude!
I tried all night and failed. So I gave up for the time. I spotted a holiday saber that I liked. So I grabbed it and put it in a safe spot. Then I slipped and made an oopsie. But I recovered and got it knocked.
Nice!
After some time, it was tamed. I tested out the saber, but it was kind of weak. Later on that night, I tried trapping a turkey. But this was no ordinary turkey. It was the devil.
Wait, where'd it go?
So I had to get creative. The next morning, my trap was ready, and it was time to get my Rex. But on the way back home, I spotted one much closer. So I trapped it. But my Rex couldn't hit the turkey. So I tried the RG. And then I soiled my pants again.
I just died.
This was bad.
It's a miracle. I'm done.
I gave up on the turkeys after that. And the next day I spotted our female Rex. I knocked it, and then spent the day working on the castle after it was tamed. And then I got stuck placing the generator.
I'm stuck in the generator.
But I got out and it was time to breed.
Breeding time, baby.
I got my first egg. And then I spent the day placing my workstations and getting things ready for the eggs. I placed my last AC and threw out the eggs. I worked on the base some more while we waited for them to hatch. The roof was my next project. My RG hatched the next morning, but the Rex wasn't ready yet, so I continued working on the castle, following my master blueprints. I wanted a window. Maybe some rails up here too. I thought a hatch would be cool as well. Enough time had passed and my Rex hatched. It was a female. Now I could breed more, but I couldn't get distracted. And finally I finished the roof.
Ah, it's hot.
It looked so sick. Later that night I went out and spotted a Megatherium to tame.
Male Megatherium, level 40.
I knocked it. While waiting I placed my fridge and got stuck in it.
Ah!
The Mega was tamed. I called it Kanye. At home the RG wanted care. And then our Rex wanted care as well. It was growing so fast. That night I spotted another holiday RG. I decided to tame it. So I took it back to the good old trap and knocked it.
Yeah.
I continued to work on the castle while waiting for the RG. Eventually the RG was tamed. I named it Thanksgiving. It looked so nice. I bred it with another bird to try and get some cool colors. Then I spotted a red drop in the distance.
Please don't disappear. No!
That was pretty unfortunate. I decided it was time to properly defend myself.
What's up, Puke?
I needed sap, so I made a tree platform. But I didn't have enough resources for the tap, so I decorated instead. Beautiful. The Rex outgrew my castle. It was time for you to go outside. I bred the new Rex the next day, and then I started hatching the egg right away. Then I got the resources and made some taps, murdered an intruder, and then discovered I was missing an eye.
Dude, she's like Zorro. She only has one eye. What happened? What happened to her eye?
Pretty creepy. My holiday RG hatched. This thing looked insane.
Homie!
I had a little time before the Rex egg hatched, so I went out and placed my platform and taps. I made it back just in time for my Rex. On the afternoon of day 30, I knocked and tamed my dire bear. I took him home. The next day, my RG wanted care. Remember the Alpha Rex? Well, I mounted that sick Puke's head above my doorway. I'll never forget how cool it looked. Later on, our Rex wanted care. And then our original Rexes were ready to breed again. I stored the egg in the fridge this time and organized my birds. But that didn't last long. While falling, I realized something was missing.
Does anybody remember where I threw the otter off?
My otter. It was time for a rescue mission. I stopped by the taps for sap on our search for the otter. And after searching for a while, I finally found him. It was a miracle he was still alive.
Oh my gosh!
And then when I got home, another miracle happened. Twins. Then I took my current birds up north for metal. I farmed everything I could. After all that, I went home. And then I loaded up my forge. There was so much. After that, I bred another Rex. And then that night, I decided to add another floor to my greenhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And then I discovered something. A design flaw.
It's slightly angled. Rip.
That really pissed me off. Then my mom called and my Christmas tree lights burnt out.
I'm excited. Who's making the macaroni? Uh-oh. My Christmas tree just burned out.
I made my industrial cooker after that, but I had a problem. The placement was scuffed, so I tore it all down and rebuilt it. This time it was straight. It turned out pretty scuffed regardless. But I kept going and added electricity and a fridge. The greenhouse was getting closer to being done.
Yeah, okay.
I had 2 Rexes hatching, and then I got my highest one yet.
85!
That was sick. I went over to my dire bear and I cryoed it. It was honey time. I found a beehive close by, and then I built a little platform on it for the bear to sit on. But I got stuck again.
I'm stuck in the ceiling!
Eventually I got out, and finally I had my honey. I found a snail close by, so I knocked it. But I forgot you needed cakes. So I went home to get some. But that snail woke up, so I had to knock another one. The snail was tamed, but I wanted more. I took my snails home. Oh hi, and then I made them mate.
Is it gonna come out the butt, or what?
Then I learned something.
It's pregnant.
To be honest, I don't know what I was expecting. I went over to my cooker and I made some potions. Trained a Rex a little. Cared for a baby Rex.
Kobe.
I Kobe'd a lot of things. Placed a recipe shelf near the cooker. And then I started working on the 2nd story walls. And got another Rex egg while we waited.
Yeah!
I remember how fat my snails were. And then it was time.
Yo! Baby snails!
And then another miracle happened.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, baby, where'd you come from? Twin snails!
But that excitement didn't last. I needed leeches. I came home from the swamp to check on the baby snails, but I couldn't find them.
Oh no. Did the baby snails die?
Yeah, they died.
It starved to death! No!
That night I went on a drop hunt and found something I needed.
Yo, I actually needed a Balosaurus saddle.
Did I just say Balosaurus? The rest of the drops sucked.
Bro, why is my loot so bad?
The next day my Rexes were matured, so I moved them outside. And then I continued working on the 2nd floor of the castle. It looked so sick. With the army growing, it was time to fix my walls. While out gathering wood, I knocked a Pago just to murder it in its sleep. I made a doorway to the greenhouse, but I was too big.
Are you kidding me?
The next day, the walls were done. I lined my Rexes up. I started getting a little bit of OCD. And then I gave my otter a helmet. That night I took the mammoth to the swamp to get some rare mushroom. I needed some for antidotes. And on the way back I had a close encounter with a baryonyx. But I survived. When I got back I made the antidote. And then I made some grapples. And then I did this.
You idiot! Ah, the antidote! Oh my...
It was time for more caves. This time it was the central cave. I had to be really careful because there were bats in this one. Before grabbing the artifact, I knocked a scorpion. I slowly approached the artifact, and then I grabbed it, got my scorpion, and hit it directly to the northeast cave. My cheeks were clenched like a vice. I made my way down. I thought I was gonna die several times, but somehow I made it to the artifact. Now I had to get back up. I thought I was gonna fall down here.
God bless! Oh my...
I was ready to go home after that adventure, and the first thing I did was place my artifacts. I felt incredible. The next day I learned that snails could wear hats.
What the heck?
I played with my shotgun a little bit,
What's up, Puke?
and then I hatched some more Rex eggs. No twins. I took out a Rex to start training for the boss fights. Oh hi, cat. That was a misclick. God bless that shotgun. I had an idea flying back.
Vin Diesel would do this.
I love Vin Diesel. I thought I was going to land on the roof, but I just missed it. I left the base to go get my Lystrosaurus I left behind earlier, but I stopped by my turkey trap to see if it was still in there.
It's in there! It's still in there! That was days ago!
I left the turkey and kept searching, and later that night I found him. Then some pagos decided to ambush.
No, no, no.
My gun malfunctioned right there. I got him home and placed him by our Rexes. I was gonna have to move stuff around. I got distracted the next day and decided to hunt for a Quetz with the scorpion. I searched all day, all night, but I couldn't find one. So I took a break and stopped by my castle to check on my new Rexes. Then I continued my search only to find a Giga. And I almost got my bird killed too. I wasn't watching the stamina. That was pretty scary. One of my new Rexes had a health mutation, so I bred it and stored its egg. Then I got a little distracted by training dummies. It was time to wrap up the day, and I made a mistake. After I ended the stream, I left the game open for about an hour and closed it. And when I started the next day, I was almost dead. After that, I got my eggs out. I placed some more dummies and then I put armor on them. Then the eggs were ready, and I got a surprise. A yellow mutation. It looks so sick. And then the next day I found a Quetz. It wasn't very good, but I wanted it, so I got out my scorpion. This was my first time trying this, and it was going well for a bit, so I kept attacking it, and then it died. At home my Rexes were ready for care. They were getting pretty big and getting caught on each other, so I took them outside. I then took my birds and Ankley on a big metal run. I needed more metal for my Rex saddles. After farming for a while, I headed home again with my birds full. The forge was stocked, and I had a saddle for my new Rex. I trained it for a bit. I love that T-Rex. Day 50 had arrived. Our journey was now halfway over, and to celebrate, I painted our saddle. Sick. I needed more Lystros, but I forgot you had to hand feed to tame them. So I looked for some more. Once I had more, I lined my Rexes up, hatched some more Rexes, and I got the mutation on the baby. Later I found a red Ovis in the snow. I had to tame it. It looked like Hellboy. That night I took my birds out for mats, and returned the next day. Then I slaughtered the penguins like Anakin Okay, enough of that. I finally had enough to make a grinder, but I had to make adjustments for it. This is the peaceful part of the story. Everything was really coming together. At least I thought. Enter the lava cave. Yeah, that was bad.
Oh no! I just got the otter killed.
Rest in peace, Otto.
Because I accidentally threw it off! No! You idiot!
But I continued and got the artifact. And then maybe got a little too cocky. That was way too close.
Oh my gosh. That was way too close. Butthole went like this.
Thankfully, I found a new otter on the way back home. I placed the artifact, and it was almost time for our first boss. But I still needed a Uteranus, so I found one. But I screwed up and drowned it. Yikes.
No!
I then found a nice Datodon to tame, but made another oopsie.
I was using the shotgun!
What was I thinking?
It was a durability test.
After the durability test, I knocked it. I called it Pumbaa. I also had 3 eggs hatching during this adventure. I got mutated twins,
I told you we were gonna get twins when we didn't need them.
but the boss lineup was finished, so they were just extras. The rest of the day I spent training my Rex for the broodmother. On day 57 I farmed some more metal for saddles. I counted how many I needed. I made them, and then I spent the next few days training. I was getting pretty strong. I tamed another Lystra to follow me for more EXP. I called it It Follows, and it was time for the test. It was working pretty good. I took a break to look for another Uteranus.
36. We might take that.
I was desperate. I kept missing my shots on purpose, so I switched to the crossbow. I chased it all night, and then I got a little risky. I really thought I was done for here, but I got lucky. I had it all under control.
We were a little stupid there.
I found an alpha to kill for Prime, and then I saw it as an opportunity for mad levels. I pulled out It Follows and petted him. It was time. Time for It Follows to die.
Rest in peace, sweet prince. He died for a good cause. 20 levels! Oh, baby! Oh, but F in the chat for It Follows.
Rest in peace, sweet Prince. Speaking of Prince, the Uteranus was tamed and I took Prince home. And then I tamed more Lystras in case another incident happened. Perfect. That night I had an intruder to take care of.
Oh, no. I'm sick of it. The hoes call me Turok.
No, they don't. I still had to level my Rexes for bosses. So I did that for a few days. Look at all those levels. And while I was out, I found an Alpha Rex to fight with my Rex. It was the ultimate test. I won pretty easily, so I felt pretty confident moving forward. That was a lot of levels. I was out leveling another Rex, and then I spotted this monster fish.
That is a big saber-toothed salmon. Oh my gosh.
After that, I found a sheep and got distracted. I took that sheep home and tamed it, and then I started breeding new sheep. While waiting for the baby, I dropped a leveled Rex off at the obelisk. I came home to check on the sheep and found twins.
Yo, we got twins.
I had to hurry though because they were about to starve, so I grabbed the berries, and then I rushed upstairs just in time to save one.
Oh!
I was disappointed, but there was only one thing to do. Have a barbecue. After the barbecue, I prepared for the broodmother some more, so I dropped off some more Rexes. A few days passed and I decided to make more cryopods to transport quicker. But when I went to collect the Rexes, this happened.
Ah! No! Every time!
It was just for dramatic effect, guys. Okay, for real this time.
Gosh dang it!
That one was an accident. I still had some Rexes to level, and then I got an idea.
I have an idea.
I picked up It Follows in my RG's mouth, and I set the bird to follow me with a note and the Lystra on me, and it followed me safely. I couldn't believe this worked.
16 levels.
I took a few more Rexes to the obelisk and made a Rex group whistle. I was getting excited for this. I lined one more up before getting the rest. But then I did it again.
No!
Thankfully no sickness. I cryoed all the remaining Rexes. After I finished loading all the Rexes, I headed over to the green obelisk. The final battle was approaching. But I got a little impatient, so I threw the rest of the Rexes out. All the way down to the last one. I had to wait for the Rexes to wake up, so I went and found a Sarco to take underwater.
Dude, you disobedient rat!
But I forgot my bird was ignoring group whistles.
I should shoot you.
I lost my cool.
I should shoot this bird. What up, Dylan?
God bless you, Dylan. I found a cool baryonyx right after that incident. I had a little chase.
Easy, girl. Yeah, we got it!
And then I called it Lightbulb. I had never rode one of these before.
Whoa.
That was cool. That night I painted my gear for war. Then the next day I attempted to make a water pen. It was pretty scuffed.
I mean, that doesn't look that bad. Right? It doesn't look that bad.
I decided to do the boat test. So I bailed on the pen, and I just tamed some Megalodons instead. But I needed something bigger. So I headed to Herb Island, and then I found out our Rexes were still sleeping.
Bruh, no way they're still knocked out.
I made it to Herb Island, and I found what I was looking for. But first I had to knock a Meg. Afterwards I went for the Basilosaurus. I was making an army underwater. The Bassie was nearly done. And then disaster struck.
No!
It was my own fault, but it felt pretty bad regardless.
Ah! Ah!
I felt better really quick though.
Yeah!
And on the way back, I spotted 2 alpha raptors and had an awful, stupid idea.
This might be risky.
Spoiler alert, some things died. Things went south. Quick.
It follows! No!
Next to go was my bird. It was time to go. Somehow I escaped, and so did my Uteranus. I made one more mistake after that.
Ooh! Oh, I could have jumped off. Oh. Dude, it was shallow!
You idiot. I had no bird, so I walked across the map with my favorite Rex. While repairing my gear, I remembered something.
We gotta go! We gotta go! The Rex eggs!
I had Rex eggs on me. I grabbed my gear and made haste. I made it back and thankfully they were still there. I went home and stored them. I also threw my Basilosaur out while I was there. And then I rode it to the eggs I tamed. I called them Big Chungus. I was king of the Chungus army. After that, I went inside my castle and grabbed the artifacts. And I said what could be my final goodbye to the kingdom. This could be it. My last moments. I flew away from the sunset in a king's fashion. And upon arrival, I stood atop my best boy. Or girl, I can't remember. Ladies and gentlemen, this was it. And we were off.
Attack, my children!
Things were going really good. And it didn't even look like I needed the pig.
We don't even need the pig.
But that's pretty good because I didn't even have it set to follow me. It seemed that I overprepared.
Hey! Get wrecked!
I did it. I headed home immediately to place its head on my wall.
Oh, that's dope.
Would you look at that? I was a proud king. Wait, I've been a queen this whole time. It was time to relax, but I nearly got my otter killed in the process.
Ah! Oh my gosh!
I decided to throw the other Rex eggs out. Some of my sheep were also about to give birth. I love sheep. My bonus Rexes hatched. Then I grabbed all the Rexes I could at the green obelisk. I got distracted again on the way back. Pretty bird. But that turned out to be a waste of time.
Dude, weak sauce!
I got back on track though. I made some more cryopods. And then I did a big stun at the castle.
Watch this, I bet I land on the pterodon.
Then I did something dark. What happens next is called karma.
Oh, what? Oh, chunk. Where's the Basilosaurus?
Thankfully it was close. The Chunguses too. I still needed more Megs. My army wasn't strong enough. I also tamed another Basilosaur, and then some more Megs. I was almost ready for the water cave, but I still had more to do, and one more Chungus to tame. Supreme Chungus. I went to get the Rexes and stopped by the Upper South Cave. I took out my scorpion and tried to bait the centipedes.
Have fun! Bro, what? Why is it not attacking?
Eventually it listened, but nothing happened, so I kept trying, and then I got stuck.
No!
So I cryoed the scorpion. I scouted the area for a little bit, took out my scorpion again, and sent it forward and back to bring everything to me. Then this happened. I misclicked and got really lucky.
Ay, ay, ay! I just about screwed up royally. Oh my gosh!
But I made it, and then I went for the artifact. I checked for Sarcos before grabbing it. It looked like it was all clear. I felt relieved that this was another cave down. After that cave, I did what I originally set out to and got my Rexes. And then I stopped to fight an Alpha Rex. And then I found a Sarco I could tame. I felt really good.
Yo.
I waited for it to tame. And then when I got home, I moved my female sheep outside to mass breed them. It was an orgy. And it was time for another mission. Remember the sheep from the first day? Well, I went out to find it. I searched all day for it, and eventually I found it.
There it is!
But it was gone. Thankfully, I had a ton of sheep at home that I bred. On day 80, I did a little more prep for the water cave, and then I tamed the final Meg. I couldn't resist, I had to get one more. But this was it. The last Chungus. I still needed to level the new Basilosaurus, and I found a red drop while doing so. It sucked.
Gosh dang it.
I was finally ready for the first water cave, so I took my army and set out.
The Chungus army's coming! Ah.
I was impressed by the big Chungus army. I got to the cave and then I sent them forward. Slowly and carefully. Everything was fine at first. Then the eels appeared. The Chunguses died one by one. Only my Basilosauruses remained.
They all died.
Then I made a discovery.
It's like the legend says! The land shark!
The legendary land shark. I was now in the artifact room where I spotted a Mosasaurus, but I had to be clever to beat it. I knew a great battle was about to begin. During the fight, I spotted something,
It's the famous land salmon.
but I didn't trust it. The fight continued and I got up close at one point.
Whoa, shoot!
Maybe too close. I got it weak enough for my Basilosaurus, but I did something dumb.
That was on purpose. That was on purpose.
I closed out the fight, grabbed my artifact, and then found a shotgun upgrade. On the way out, I spotted something.
That's Big Chungus. We're fine.
A Chungus survived,
Bruh, how did the level 11 survive in here?
and another one did too.
Dude, there's Chunguses all over this cave.
I took the artifact home before going back out to sea.
Man, what an achievement.
I found a nice Basilosaur to tame for the next cave. Then I painted my shotgun, and I also made some gas masks for the swamp cave. I took my saber and cognated the cave. I thought I could do it, but it was a lot harder than I remembered,
They are level 500.
so I got out of there. It was time to prepare for the Monkey King, the Megapithecus. I spent time getting my Rexes out. I was trying to be careful so I didn't make the mistake like last time. I took a break from getting the Rexes out to go to the West Cave for an artifact. I moved slowly. I carefully moved through the cave, and then eventually I found the artifact, but the room was filled with bats. I couldn't hit them for some reason, so I just went for it, very slowly. I grabbed the artifact, and then I snuck out as quietly as I could.
I'm out! I'm out! I'm out! I'm out! I'm out!
I made it. After the cave, I dropped more Rexes. I tabbed out and made a mistake at the last second,
You idiot! You idiot!
so I just threw the rest out.
Messed the whole operation up. Sleep, my children.
I did some last minute prep and grabbed the artifacts at the base. Boss number 2. I waited for my Rexes to wake up. I was ready.
It's party time.
I summoned the boss.
Oh, shoot.
And then I positioned my main lad Yoshi. And then I went for the king. I shot him to get his attention.
He's coming. He's coming!
I ran for my life to Yoshi and then waited. It was time.
Come on.
The battle had begun. This one was going really well too. A lot easier than I thought it would.
Yeah!
I celebrated another victory. I placed the flag and mounted his head. That night I finished the greenhouse. It was about time. Then I did a cave run for loot and I almost died.
There's like 1 million of them. I'm dead.
At least I thought I did. I scare easily. After that I decided to get frogs for the swamp cave. They were both super low, but I wanted backup, sort of like the Chungus army. So I took one over. Then I went back for the second.
What is this? Bruh, Buddy's popping off.
I thought it was strong at first, but I spoke too soon.
Ah!
That plan failed, so I searched for a Thyla. Literally all day. No luck. I grabbed potions and stimulants, and then I went for the swamp cave. I was off to a good start. It was Kanye time. It was destroying everything this time. All that juicy EXP.
Oh, it's sexy!
I kept moving forward and eventually found some drops. And then I found the artifact. When I was leaving the cave, I saw a Megalania. I wanted to tame one, but I knocked it into a pit of leeches.
Yeah, he got a leech sitting under his gooch.
I got it tamed and I took him home. He was pretty weak, but I wanted to see what it was like to run on walls. This thing was sick. It was time to level our new Basilosaur. While I was out, I spotted a squid near a Mosasaur that I wanted. But first I had to get rid of the squid. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be to fight. I lost sight of the Mosa during the fight.
Now I don't know where the Mosasaur is. I found it! We found it!
This made things a little difficult, but I got rid of the squid without hurting it. Eventually I knocked the Mosasaur.
Suck it.
I felt unstoppable.
Master of the sea, baby! Hardcore master, okay.
It was tamed. I called it Lil Richie. I spotted another squid, but this one was Alpha, the ultimate test. I killed it easier than I thought, and I gained a lot of levels.
17 levels! Oh my gosh, Jeff!
It was then Richie's turn for an Alpha. I killed it and got a cool captain's hat for my otter. It was finally time for what I thought was the hardest cave, the East Water Cave. I cryoed my tames and headed over. I was almost there, and it was time, the millionth time. When I got there, an Alpha Meg slowed me down, but it also gave me some extra levels. I got my tames out. Another strong start, then the horde arrived. I was doomed,
Yeah, we're dead.
but luck was on my side. I sent Richie forward. Rest in peace, Lil Richie. I also used my Basilosaurus as bait too. But they survived round 1.
Dude, its health is so low.
Round 2.
Oh, there's a squid.
Time to run. But the others didn't listen.
Go, boys, go. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back!
I got caught in the middle of it all trying to help, and just barely escaped. But the others didn't make it out. I had to take the cave extremely slow, and I tried my best to kill things one by one. Then I spotted the king. I let him out of the cave,
Yeah, leave! You're free!
and then I finally made it.
I'm out. I am out.
One final cave left. I felt unstoppable, but the dreaded day came. My final day. I flew to the snow cave. I hopped off my bird and made my way, very slowly. I threw out my Rex, and it looked like death in here.
Hey, boys! Oh my gosh. Bro, this cave looks like death.
I was doing pretty good, but I had to swap my Rexes and bring out Yoshi, my favorite Rex. We carried on, very slowly. We even got a red drop. And then I fell in the water with Yoshi, but we escaped.
Oh, thank you. Thank God.
I saw the artifact. It was in my grasp. And then it happened. My final moment.
I'm dead.
I forgot to put Yoshi on neutral. It was over. And I was speechless. I failed. Or did I?
I just died.
Yeah, I failed. I died again on day 80. That base you saw at the start, that was from that run. So I'm currently doing this challenge again. I scaled the difficulty up higher. I still have vanilla settings. Everything's the same. What else was I about to say? Yeah, we're gonna keep doing this challenge until we beat it. My Twitch stream's in the description if you wanna watch. Thank you, everyone. Let me know your favorite part in the comments.
Merry Christmas.